I am intelligent. I am prepared. I am a thinker. I am a problem solver. I am focused on my goals. I am resourceful. I will succeed in high school and college. I am responsible for my future success. And I am proud to be a Panther.
I'm Zariyuannah.
And I'm Ashlynn, and welcome to Panther Pride. Today's subject is hidden figures, and we had a couple of review questions that we asked a couple of students and teachers at Carter G. Woodson. Why do we choose hidden figures as a topic?
Okay, so if y'all didn't watch the Hidden Figures movie, we did. We had watched it as a school, and we had a good time. Okay.
We went to go see the Hidden Figures movie last week. 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade all went to go and see Hidden Figures as our Black History Month celebration. So we're kind of to create an event for it. So did you enjoy the movie?
Yes, I enjoyed the movie.
What did you enjoy about it?
Well, I liked how when everyone thought that the ladies couldn't take over. Well, they thought that the black female couldn't work in the office and work with the numbers because they didn't think that she was educated enough. But it turns out that she was more educated than the white people that worked with the numbers, and more people towards the end of the movie, more people depended on her and her numbers rather than the numbers that was originally given.
Okay. Well, we do have a clip for you guys on Hidden Figures and some of our review questions and answers. So here we go.
It's a very nice movie because it really tells you about the woman behind the picture. Basically, Hidden Figures is about this movie where female scientists, black female scientists, had helped the man go to space. So basically, it's really empowering women because of how positively it shows them how you can do anything you want.
It was great because it showed how a woman could impact history in so many ways without being noticed until now. It proved to people that you can break the boundaries of racism and not be afraid to do what you want to do.
I wanted to see the movie because it was a part of history that I didn't know. I didn't know that 3 black women were the backbone of that space shuttle, the spacecraft, and that they were behind NASA. I didn't know that. That was very interesting to me, and I'm so proud of our black women.
You know about that the spaceship went off in 60. No, that was not 61. I knew it was some type of rocket that came out, but I didn't know about the thing. Black lady who made it take off. I didn't know about that part. It's good for Black History, because it would be something different to learn than. No offense, we learn about Martin Luther King a whole lot, but I just want to see there's something different about Black History Month. So.
Like a part of history that we don't really hear about. I never knew it was 3 women that was behind NASA. I didn't know that, but I figured it out yesterday. It made me happy because a lot of people don't think of, like, wondering they're doing something they probably think, like, they ghetto or they supposed to be on TV and stuff, but these women were smart and they went to school even when they told them they shouldn't go to school, they shouldn't do these things.
It was great. It had sad moments, but otherwise it was good because it showed that black people can do anything they want to do.
Well, Zariyuannah, what did you think about the reviews that we just saw?
Well, I agree with most of them, and I think that it was like a part of history that I didn't know before, and honestly, I didn't think that it would be 3 black women that helped launch the spaceship.
My thoughts on the movie Hidden Figures were that it was very intriguing. It gave me a lot of information I did not know of. I'm sure a lot of people did not know of it because no one really knew about 3 African American women that were behind the progress, the great progress that NASA had when they launched the first plane. Aircraft. And they got so many men out in space. So I think that it was just really great experience for me just to get that knowledge that I did not have before.
Who was your favorite character?
My favorite character was Mary. Mary was my favorite character because she spoke her mind. You saw in a lot of scenes she kind of held her tongue because at the time there were a lot of racist problems. Like in the first scene where we saw the officer and they told her to hold her tongue because she knew she was going to express herself. And I know that a lot of people want to express themselves in the African American community. The main thing that is used against us is the mad black woman or just being a mad black person. And she was a great example because she did not express her complete emotion, and it's a lot of times that's what happens now, even because a lot of people, African Americans, have to hold back what they feel because they don't want to get into the altercation that it comes from racist problems.
Well, my favorite character was Katherine Johnson because when the people they was underestimating her. And she thought beyond, like when they blacked out some of the numbers so that you couldn't see them. She held the paper to the light just so that she could see it, and she got correct math. And then I also liked her because she stood up because when they didn't have a bathroom for her to use up in their office area, and it was 7 miles away, she took all her work and she got it even, and no matter what the weather was, she took it to a bathroom that she used for colored people, which I didn't really agree with that, but she did what she had to do so that she can get her work done. And then once the boss realized, I really need this woman to help us and whatnot, they took away the colored bathrooms. So now that they're sharing bathrooms and making it easier for her because she number one, she top notch what they need. And I also liked her because the astronaut that went up space, he said that he wasn't coming down until she reviewed the numbers and make sure that it was okay. So basically, he was looking up to her to, he put his life up into her hands instead of all the other people that they was working with before.
Were you aware of any of these ladies' contributions to history before seeing the movie?
No, honestly, I didn't really know that it was any females that actually worked with NASA. I really thought it was a man's job, I guess, because I never heard the first woman to go in space. Well, I have, but I never heard of any females helping. This was my first time watching Hidden Figures and learning that.
I was not fully aware of these women, these exact women, contribution to NASA or really to any really big corporations, because you see that, like she said, it's normally seen as a man's job. The face of NASA are normally the astronauts, where we see men. We see a lot of men, and we don't really often see women now, so it's really hard to kind of see the difference. Oh, it looks that we have a caller.
Caller, why don't you go ahead and
Tell
speak
us your
first?
name or...
This is Dorothy Brown, the clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County.
Hi,
Hello,
Dorothy.
Dorothy.
How are you all today?
We're good, and you?
Wonderful, wonderful.
That's good. Do you have any questions today, or?
Well, you know, I did a private showing of the Hidden Figures. Had about 3 theaters out at the Movie Studio Grill, and it was just phenomenal. And what I wanted to ask you guys is that, and assuming that you both have seen it, what do you think the biggest lesson that should have been learned by young people from this movie?
Would you like to go?
I'll answer.
Okay.
I feel like the lesson that was learned was that as an African American young woman, I feel that the lesson that was learned, the lesson that was taught to me was that we have to stand up. We have to notice our worth and what we are capable of doing.
I agree, and I would like to say that I also think that the lesson was, like, you can't just, like, let people say that you can't do anything. Like, not saying that they will. There was one dude that brought Catherine down. Like, he didn't believe in her, and her number was correct other than his. So I think that, like, she stood up for what she knew rather than what somebody was telling her.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, what I really liked about the movie was that it spoke to family. I mean, they took care of their families, but yet they also respected themselves. Their spouses or significant others respected them, and they respected those spouses and significant others. And then on top of all of that, taking care of children, spouses, significant others, they still were able to stay focused and prepared. And then where they felt they were not prepared, they, as Dorothy Vaughn did, and you know, that's my namesake, she went to the library and she got prepared by learning that new language. And then she taught us a great lesson of team and lifting as you climb, because she didn't not just learn Fortran for herself, but she taught all of those ladies that language so that they could all come along together. So that's what we have to do today as young people, as African Americans, as women, as men, whoever we are, we have to make sure that we're lifting as we climb, that we're giving back just as much as society is giving to us.
I agree, Dorothy. And thank you for calling in today.
We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, and thank you all for permitting me to call in. So you guys have continue to have a great show.
You
too.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, it seems that we have 2 more questions, and then we'll be showing you guys another clip. So our next question was, do you think Black history should be taught year-round, and if so, why?
Well, yes, because I do think that Black history should be taught year-round, because it's like some things you're not all going to get to in all 1 month. Like, I know that 8th graders and 7th graders that CGW, we do a history fair, and majority of the people that the topics is Black people, so we don't all learn about them. Like, it's certain people that, like, many people that we learn about, like, majority of the years of Black history that I've known, we was mainly learning about Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King. And now I'm seeing that it's other people outside of them 3 people that has to do with Black history, and yeah, that's pretty much.
I think I feel like it's kind of yes and then it's kind of no. I feel yes because I think we should all be taught about our culture as an African American, and I feel like other cultures should be taught about the African American culture, and because all should know about the accomplishments that were made by African Americans in past times, just like we know about other cultures and their accomplishments over time. And I also feel no because that 1 month that we have is kind of, I would say, not sacred, but I feel like it kind of gives it a little bit more, like it's something that you would want. It's something that you're waiting for. You're waiting for Black History Month so you could talk about and you could really get onto the topic of African American accomplishments and what we've done and what we're capable of. It kind of gives you that time to yourself, or the time to your one culture that kind of says, we've done this, and we want you all to know that we've done this, and we're giving you this time to tell you we've done it. Because if it was given to us year-round, it would kind of say, well, we learn about this all the time, but you kind of get that 1 month where it's something new. So I would say that.
Okay, the last question before we play the clip is, as a young African American woman, what obstacles do you still face today?
Well, now I kind of face discrimination, not often, considering that I go to a school that's mostly African American, and I'm surrounded by young women and men. But as a female, I kind of feel like guys and men, they kind of see us as less. Not less as like always saying you can't do this because you're a girl, but it's kind of like they don't think that we're capable of doing not the same things, but doing it better. Because we've proven that we can do what they do, but I don't feel like they notice that we found a way, and we found a way to be ahead. Not to say ahead, but I don't want to say advanced, like comparing to them, but we've done things that most guys haven't done. So I would say that, and plus I feel like a lot of people look down, or they don't notice how we're affected as well. A lot of people, when they talk about the oppression that's been put on African Americans, they don't notice that the African American woman has been affected as well, because we've seen the men get beat down and we've seen them go through what they've gone through, but not only have we watched, we've gone through it with them. We've had to put our position. We've had to put our foot down in our position to show that we're strong and that we've made it through what we made it through. So,
well, I think like the obstacles that we face is like some males, I would say they don't look at us as like equal. Like they think that some jobs isn't for females, but I'm pretty sure that majority of the females today, they can prove them wrong, because there's some stuff that like males couldn't do that females could do. Like in the movie, what's the lady name? I forgot her name, but she was fixing on a car. What's her name?
I think it was Dorothy Brown. Yeah, that was her name.
Okay, excuse me, Dorothy. She fixed the car. She was the one who fixed the car, and there wasn't a male there. And like today, I'm pretty sure that most men, they were like, oh, she can't fix the car, and they would want to do it. But sometimes females, they have to learn for themselves to do certain things because males not around. And that's probably one thing that they wouldn't really even notice or pay attention to. And I also feel like that many males, like, they feel like they don't have to respect all females just because they isn't their mother. But without females today, I'm pretty sure that the males wouldn't really be here. Okay, you can play the clip.
Well, that clip was great. We learned a lot of things in that clip about other inventors, such as Annie Easley. And
okay, so we have the next question we have is, how do you celebrate Black History Month?
well, normally in Black History Month, you're supposed to learn about Black figures. So at school, we mostly spend time learning about those African American figures that we did not know of. Like you said, we normally learn about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and Thurgood Marshall.
I never learned about that at school.
You never did?
No.
Oh, well, you soon will be learning. But yes, we talk. But now, as we grew older, we learned about more figures over time, so we understand a lot of other figures. And it seems that today we did not have that much time, so that was all we could talk with you guys about. But thank you for watching, and thank you, Dorothy Brown, for calling in today and talking to us and asking a couple of questions. But we hope to see you guys next Monday, and please don't forget to watch us on YouTube and the site. Bye!